Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Olympia's Soiree. Just starting our next chapter in Yosuga's route, The Curse of Love. So, we managed to get through the last chapter, the whole last chapter, and the whole last part. Literally one chapter. It's amazing, because usually we, start a chapter, or, we just end a chapter, or whatever, you know? But it was, perfect. Except for it took forever. But that's because I rambled. But anyway. I'd better get going. I need to check on the letterbox. I usually had the letters checked around 11 o'clock. Considering how long it took to go to Yomi and back, I needed to leave here by 9 in order to make it. Am I really in love with Yosuga? It wasn't that I was afraid of going outside. I was just too embarrassed to go to Yomi now. I hope I can be calm when I talk to him today. The completo he gave me was all gone after I kept putting them in my mouth one by one. I'll go outside and buy some more completo for myself. Daifuku, do you want to come with me today? I noticed that Daifuku was strangely quiet as I got dressed and put my cap on. Daifuku? He was tucked into a ball inside the cage as if he was sleeping. But it seemed he could hear what I was saying because his ears and tail were twitching. Not today? Well, I'll see you then. He's pretending to sleep.
I want Hime to marry the person she loves. I want her to be happy, even if she marries that man from the purple. There's nothing I can do now. All I can do is pray for the best.
It's funny because, he really loved Riku. He really did. He was like, Riku! And then with Tokasada, he was like, Tokasada. And, now he's like, Yosuga, really? Such a different reaction to everybody. He's like, oh, okay, I mean, sure. He seems very concerned about it.
Lady Amaterasu, please accept Lord Yosuga into your light.
What does he know? I think that's why he's concerned. But it's you think he knows Yosuga, so you think instead of that dude from the purple, it's Yosuga. So wouldn't you be I don't know, it's interesting. Anyway. Lady Olympia, a moment, please. Oh, is there something you need? Doma's chamberlain hurriedly ran toward me just as I was about to leave the manor. It is regarding tonight's performance. The master asks that you arrive earlier than usual, regardless of the sun state. It's so funny, as soon as you walk outside and the chamberlain's, excuse me, you're it's about the fucking performance tonight, and we're gonna have to return earlier than normal, because again, the very start of each route is the same, and then this little bit is basically the same. So funny, you're ugh. You're deja vu. Understood. Doma kept his eyes on the solar link he cast, and decided when I would perform my rituals. Apparently, the state of the link varied depending on the souls offered, which differed each time in amount and quality. It also seemed that my dance couldn't make any changes to the sun's brilliance in and of itself. I'll be back before nightfall, if you'll excuse me. Please stay safe. Thank goodness he's not around today. I quickly ran up to the letterbox and lifted the lid. Inside was a single letter to the blue. I carefully placed it inside my bag, then looked into the box again. I wasn't expecting more completo in here, but I slowly peeked into the bathhouse. I couldn't see the main hall from here. I would certainly be in a predicament if he found me like this. It'd just be this is that thing where then you look in and you see him and he's standing there and he just waves to you and you're like, hey, hey friend, I'm dying inside because I love you. And then you leave. Seeing you makes me feel better, but also hurts. Realism. If my feelings for him are love, there'd be nothing I could do about it since he's prohibited from mating. I had the letter inspected and was now in the Blue District. Oh, do we get to see Shura again? The Blue District. Looking at the blue roof tiles was bringing back bad memories. As a woman of Yomi, you should be grateful to have sex with a blue like me. There's no greater honor. Gross. I hope I never run into him. Oh, guess where we're gonna go? Run right into him. Come on. I carefully looked around as I made my way to my destination. Oh, they're building something. Curious, I went to try and take a peek when... It was funny because then I was like, well, we are in the blue. Maybe we'll see Riku finally. We haven't seen him since his route. Like, actually, no, that's not true. I think when we were in the very beginning of, what's his face's route? Why? Oh my god. Anyway, we ran into him when we were going. We're like, okay, go into my pass. And he's like, god damn it. Like, but that was it. It is highly improper to sneak around like that. I miss your pretty face. I miss your pretty bitch face. He's a resting bitch face, and I love it. I turned around to see a certain soldier standing behind me. I'm very sorry for not getting permission first. You're interested in the school. School? Oh, you hadn't heard of it? In the building under construction, there is a school for girls. For girls? And that's right. Because Nintoku University does not admit girls, Elder Sister is using her own wealth to build a new facility. Elder Sister? I looked at the structure again. Nintoku University was this island's only school. I heard it was strictly for boys who proved their talent or genius. It's so nice to finally see a school for girls. Indeed, she is the pride and joy of the blue. Our previous leader, Lord Akon... Akon? 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 The Akon? Acorn? Was Elder Sister's husband, but he passed away from Haku. That's right. I heard about that even when I was holed up inside the manor. Only men were allowed to be leaders of their respective color classes. Of course, many voiced their dissent when Elder Sister stood up to assume the role. I mean, she's kind of like a shady bitch, but also, like, you kind of want to look up to her, because, like, she did some shit that other women are like, I'm building a school. Fuck you. Women will be allowed to go. I'm taking over for my husband. Fuck you. Kiss my ass. I'm still a shady bitch, though. But, like, she's a shady bitch. You're like, she's kind of a shady fucking bitch. I want to hate her, but you kind of like her underneath. You're like, I don't like you, but I do like you. Like, you rub me the wrong way, and I don't really want to be, like, besties with you, but I absolutely respect you. You know? And then we had that beautiful CG where she was like, oh, both of our lovers got washed away. And we're like, girl, we're besties now. I still don't really like you that much. I don't dislike her, but, like, I don't, like I said, she's not going to be like, oh my god, she's my best friend and she's nice. She's not nice. She's very, I feel like she's more conniving and just cunning and just kind of does whatever is best for her, but also for the blue. And she's not like, oh, well, like everyone else is kind of like friendly with you and like whatever and like not completely like, I don't want to say self-absorbed because she's very much like rotates around the blue, but she could give a shit. She would kick your ass into a fucking volcano if it was going to be good for the blue people. All I'm saying. She'd be like, she fell in. I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? She would sacrifice you. She would absolutely trip you in the zombie apocalypse, all right? While, like, Kuroba would try to help you, Akaza would probably risk his life for you, like, you know. But Shuro would absolutely fucking trip you. Is all I'm saying. Doesn't mean I can't respect her. I'm just saying, she ain't the nicest person. But I think that's what kind of makes her good, though, at the same time. Because, like, everyone else is like, oh, they're, like, at first, with Kanon, it was like, see, he's, like, a terrible person, but, like, also maybe he kind of has a heart. Like, he cares about his brother, and he's a bad person, but you're like, no. And then you just wiped that clean in Tokusata's route. You were like, yeah, no, you're just an asshole. Okay. People in, like, games are usually black and white. You know, you have, like, generally good. You might have done, like, Yusuga, you might have done some shady shit, but you're generally a good ball of, like, squishy. And then you have Kanon, where, like, you're just an asshole. Shuro's in that middle ground, which is nice. Like, she's kind of shady, and there's going to be points where you're like, I don't like you. But then she does shit like this, and you're like, but I kind of respect you. You know, I like you. I don't, but I do. Weird. Anyway. And there were even talks of choosing a leader from one of the nobles, but in the end, Elder Sister succeeded the position as leader. All concerns about it quickly dissipated. I'm sure I don't need to tell you that she has been able to stand proudly alongside Lord Doma and Lord Jigen with her manifold skills. Yes, I'm very aware of her accomplishments. Though to be honest, she scares me a little. No one in the blue could ever speak ill of her. Of course, I too respect her from the bottom of my heart. Riku was proudly boasting about her when... Why, what an unusual couple we have here. Speak of the devil, like quite literally. Riku, do you have time to spend here like this? I assume you must return to Kanado shortly. I do apologize. Then if you will please excuse me. She's like, you better not be thinking of him as your husband. You're like, yeah, no. He's beautiful and all, but like, she thinks he's a cold bastard. That's like the most, like, conversation. Like, every other conversation is like, you shouldn't go into Yomi. We're like, I'm gonna go into Yomi. And he's like, you shouldn't, but I'm gonna. What are you up to? Nothing! This is like the most, like, actual personable conversation we've had with him, aside from his route, you know. Riku gave a deep bow to elder sister and hurried off. Good day, Olympia. And what brings you here today? I came to deliver a letter. Someone's got a letter. Someone's got a letter. Yes, your services. But do you really have time for that? Shouldn't you be looking for your husband? Unless, of course, you've already found him. Each time she moved her fan, a lovely aromatic fragrance wafted through the air. Yes, I found someone. No, not yet. We're probably going to say no, not yet, but I want to say yes, I found someone, but... We say yes, I found someone! Girl! Alright! Because, like, yes, I found someone. Yes, I found someone. Oh, my! It's so funny when she does this look, she totally looks like a fox. It's like fox face. Oh. And who might this someone be? I'm unable to share that as of yet. I'm sorry. I haven't told him my feelings yet, and to be honest, I don't know how he feels in the first place. Well, I cannot wait to attend your wedding, dear. She was smiling, but I couldn't see what lay beyond her eyes at all. Of course, this would be the case. I'd never been able to know her true thoughts. She's slick like a fox. Even when she smiled, she didn't betray any emotions that could be mistaken for real joy. But she smiled so gently to Riku. Is it because he's part of the blue class that she's working so hard to protect? In contrast, I'm from the white. Olympia, do you recall what I told you before at Ishanaten? You're now 18 and considered an adult. You may marry and mate with your husband. You're the one and only precious white. It's your duty to bring a baby into this world. Yes, I understand that very well. Why is everyone so interested in my fucking uterus? Get out of here. My heart throbbed with pain as I replied. I was merely a tool to the people of this island. I mean, a tool to preserve the white bloodline. Perhaps I'm being too meddlesome. I apologize if I offended you. Not at all. Thank you very much. I should be on my way. Excuse me. Elder sister, I know what she's saying makes sense, but I watched as she slowly walked away. Her feathered fan moved gracefully like sea foam floating atop the waves. Without a doubt, she was the most elegant and beautiful woman on Tengu Island. But I can't seem to trust her. I can never tell what she's thinking. Maybe if we somehow get closer, I can get to know her better. Like, the thing that I'm worried about is that she's going to be like Kanon, where you're like, okay, I don't really trust her, but like, he's not... I mean, Kanon's evil and he's a douche, but like, maybe he loves his brother and then he was just like, no, I actually don't. I turned him in. Fuck everybody. Oh, okay. And like, Shura was kind of a douche canoe in Riku's route, but understandably so. Riku is going to be the leader of the blue. He's like this perfect gem that we plucked out of Yomi. We need him to breed blue babies, and now you're going to take that away. Like, I kind of understand her being like, about it and kind of being a bit of a bitch and trying to stop it, right? But she really doesn't have, as long as we're not going after anybody in the blue, she really has no reason to like, oh, she doesn't have to like us. You know? She could be a little resentful maybe because we can choose anyone and she didn't get to choose it. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? She doesn't have to like us and she doesn't have to be the nicest, but I just don't see any reason for her to be, like, violently evil. But we know she's in love with Sakio, and we know that he's after our blood. So, like, I still don't trust him, even though he was more an antagonist in Riku's route. He could also become an antagonist again in, like, Kuroba's route, because Kuroba being a doctor and everything. And then Shura could absolutely do something to hurt us because she's in love with Sakio and he does. You know what I mean? Like, so it just worries me. You're like, I don't hate you. And then it's like, maybe I should though. Because, like, you're probably going to do something awful later. I'm going to be like, God damn it. Every time I try to have some faith in someone in this game that's not our boyfriend. Except for Kaina. You know? And Doma. Like, they want you to not like Doma, but I love him to death. And I was wary of Jigen to begin with. I was like, see, she hates Doma, she doesn't trust Shura, and she thinks Jigen's great. Jigen's gonna stab us. Like, I like the people. I'm like, I mean, maybe they're not too. Never mind, they're all evil. Except for Doma and Tsukiyama. And our boyfriends. And Kaina. And the mice and Camellia. Shura, Sakio, Kanan, Nagusa, definitely shady in some way. Whether they're shady, well, we know some of them are shady and go trying to hurt us because they have done it. Whether Shura is gonna hurt us, Jigen, you're still iffy, buddy. I don't know. You seem nice, but I don't know if I trust you. There's really only a handful of people that you can't trust in this game, but it's those handful of people that you're like, oh, well, some of you I think might be okay, but maybe you're not. Get closer. I have to admit, it's very impressive to lead the people of the Blue by herself. She's building that school, too. She really is something. I took one last look at the school being built before heading off to deliver the letter. Tenshin Hospital. Isn't this the hospital? On my way back from the Blue District, a large building came into view. It had a magnificent appearance with a different atmosphere from the Kotowari, and people were busily going in and out of the place. Cordobas in my blood hadn't worked for him yet, but I wonder if that other person... There he is. Suddenly, I sensed someone glaring at me. I quickly turned around, but with the movement of people around me, it was hard to tell where the feeling was coming from. Maybe Sakio's the one that's been glaring at us. You know, because he did make a sus appearance in the common route where it's just like, whew, he just slides in like, dot, 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 and then, you know, then shows up in these routes. And we keep having someone spying on us. But again, the weird thing is like the whole needing the blood thing and him spying on us and maybe trying to kidnap us again would fit better in Kuroba's route. You know what I mean? So, like, you can't make him the antagonist in this and, like, you know, you're putting a little bit too much Kuroba and Kuroba plotline, what I feel would be in Yosuga's route, so. Kanan seems more likely to be the sus one following us. I feel like he definitely would be, because he doesn't like Yosuga, you know, he said that in the last part, so. Are they gone? I'm not being followed, am I? Probably. I took a good look around. The bustling crowd looked as they normally did. I'm sure someone was watching me just now. I should get going. I quickly hopped into a nearby fiacre to head over to Yomi. Oh, it was this bitch. Jigoku Dayu of Yomi is giving special treatment to Olympia of the White. How unusual of you to allow such a rumor to run amok. You should be wary of your jealous admirers. The beautiful younger brother of the beautiful Ayame. To think you're attracted to Olympia. Could this be God's bidding? Or could it be a curse? Unfortunately, time is short. I'll need to begin soon. See, this seems like something that definitely would happen in Kuroba's route, like Sakio being the one trying to kidnap me and do whatever. It worked in Riku's route because Shura's in love with him, and so it was like, okay, sure, you know. So there was kind of a tie there, but like, I think it's just because we're going to do Kuroba's route next, so you can't have Sakio trying to kidnap me in this route and then Sakio trying to kidnap me in that route. It's like too much the same. But then again, it'd be like, okay, well, Kanon kidnapped me in a bad ending in Tokusada's route, but that doesn't mean he can't do more shady shit in this one. You know what I mean? Like, I guess they gotta rotate their antagonists, but then it's weird because then in Kuroba's route, Kanon's gonna come after us? You know, again? Anyway, here I am again. At least I didn't see Yosuga when I came by this morning. I know for sure that I'm just getting in the way of his work. No, wait. Maybe I should just act naturally. I only came here to enjoy some tea, and I'll go home after having my fill like nothing happened. I convinced myself and walked through the entrance with a straight face when... Welcome. Would you like a seat in the main hall or in my room? Nice. I love that. He was standing right in front of me. You like walk in, he's like, are we going to the main hall or are you coming to my room with me? Oh. The very person I didn't want to see. So, which will it be, my dear guest? Maybe I'm imagining things, but he looks angry. He was smiling, but something about his eyes stung me. What would be the right choice now? Your room? It's always the right choice. Aha, yeah. I suppose your room. I thought so. Well, it's more relaxing to have a quiet space around. Yes, it's where I feel most comfortable too. I'm glad you like it. Now, shall we? I mean, this doesn't bode well if somebody's spying in Yobi and they're like, she's always going to his room. They're like, oh, for tea! Is that what they're calling it these days? Getting some tea? Yeah. So, what can I get for you today? Let's see. Feel free to choose as you please. It's all Kuroba's treat. Kuroba? Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, I mean, she forgot about this. Thanks a bunch. For the next 6 months, I'll take care of all your bills from Yasuga's. Got it? Maybe that's why he's mad. She's like, he looked a little mad. We, like, walked in, and he's like, are you gonna marry Kuroba? Is that why he's paying for all your meals? And you're like, no. And he's like, oh. He's mad because he's jealous? That's so cute. I love it. We've already drawn a contract for the next 6 months. You're kidding, right? Over something so trivial? It wasn't trivial at all. The tone of his voice suddenly changed, making me go tense. I heard what happened from Kuroba last night. Do not go near such a man again. Such a man? Do you mean the head of the hospital? You know him too, Yosuga? Someone in my line of work has the privilege of knowing many people. It was unusual of him to do so, but it sounded like he was trying to avoid my question. I mean, Sakio knows you. I suppose he feels similarly to Kuroba when it comes to that man. In any case, you get very careful with him. Research has its risks. But wouldn't it be great if it led to a cure for Haku? Everyone would be saved. Well, you would say so. He spoke in a low voice and walked to his desk. Oh, he's mad about the Sakio thing. I mean, it would have been nicer if he was mad and jealous about... There was a fucking gnat in here. I feel like this is like a common occurrence. Like, as soon as it's like, no more gnat. Gnat? What the fuck? How are you getting in here? And that's what I get for opening my door once. You open your door to be like, hey, what's the weather like? Because I got to get my mail. Oh, no, kind of sticky hot. Or it's raining. Okay, well, I'll go... I mean, sometimes you can't see if it's raining, and I took my car because I wasn't sure. I'm like, I think it's just wind, but I don't know, because I live in the woods. But, like, open that damn door and fucking gnats get in here. Jesus. Oh, there's just one buzzing around my face. Anyway. He spoke in a low voice and walked to his desk. Is he worried about me? Just the thought made my body flare up again. Am I being too vain? I've concocted a new skincare tea. Would you like some? That sounds nice. I'll have a cup. I tried to hide my embarrassment and snuck a glance at him as he brewed the tea. We need more CGs of this man. Where are they? He can't be a bad person, but I feel like there's a side to him I still don't know. When I thought he was kind, he became cold. And when I thought he was shy, he teased me. Yusuga, I want to know more about you. What can I do so that you'll tell me more? I couldn't take my eyes off his graceful movements, scooping the tea and pouring the hot water. It's good practice to keep watch over what you might ingest, and though you need not worry about suspicious ingredients from me. Huh? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I wasn't being distrustful of you or anything. It's just that you seem to be good at doing this. I can't believe I actually gave such a weak excuse. It's just like, your just movements are beautiful. I suppose being in the hospitality business, one becomes innately aware of others' eyes. But it's just the two of us now, and I want to ensure that I prepare the best tea for you. I see. I'm so easy to please. I can't believe how happy I am hearing that. I'm just happy looking at his goddamn face, so. Here you are. It smells so good. I breathed in the fruity, tart, flowery aroma. It smells similar to the bath I had last time. Oh, so you remember. I was thinking it smelled so wonderful that I could bathe in it every day. Then, shall we bathe in it together now? Yeah, yes. He's the person like, shall we bathe in it together now? Yeah, that sounds good. After my tea? How about after my tea? It sounds good. And he's like, wait, what? You have to throw it back to him. He's not going to expect it. You're bright red. I'm only joking. That blend takes some time to prepare. Oh, that's right. You did mention that before. My face is so hot. I need to calm down. I lowered my face to sip the tea, wanting to hide how much I was blushing. I expected Tsukiyomi mentioned the purple class was skilled with medicines and herbs. When I was younger, I thought it such a hassle to be forced to learn this and that, but now it's being put to good use. You said before, too, that you wouldn't mind bathing here every day. It's because I thought it was really nice. Oh, I'm sorry. I just started, I saw the line as I was about to read it, and I was like, what? Wait, It literally stunned me silent. If you choose me as your groom, I can prepare that special bath for you every day. Yosuga, you're not supposed to... Huh? Yosuga! Alas, I'm forbidden from the act of mating. The heat in my body quickly dissipated. How rude of that. If you choose me. Not if you could choose me. It's if you did. And then you're like, huh? And he's like, but I can't. God, you got my hopes up and just smacked them out from underneath me. The end came so suddenly. But I wasn't one to give up so easily. Then again, we are here alone. I fucking love this whore. You know what? The funniest part would be when he's like, I'm forbidden from you. You're like, yeah, but I am the precious white. And if I said I wanted you, they might give you to me anyway. Because, they're worried about the purple. You breeding more purple. You would only be breeding white with me. So, yeah, I'm just saying. As long as you keep it a secret, no one will ever know, right? Yusuga. For example... Yusuga slowly walked in front of me. I was waiting for a CG, I was really hoping. I could unravel your ribbon and take your blouse off, and then push you down onto my bed. You could, but you're not gonna, which is unfortunate. His hand reached out to my ribbon, but I instinctively pulled back. I might have just let him. It's only an example. Why, don't tease me like this! Again, it's just an example. I mean to say I can be here for you in whatever manner you please. I felt lightheaded and dizzy. I wonder if he knows. I knew he was joking, but my body was burning hot. I'll never come here again if you keep joking like that. I see. Too bad. Without any sense of guilt, he brushed back his soft hair with his hand. How do you know his hair's soft, girl? You're just pretending, just assuming by looking at it? You haven't touched it. I dare touch his hair and tell me it's really soft. Calm down. Calm down. Yosuke has a knack for teasing others. I'm just gonna get embarrassed if I take him seriously. I took a deep breath and had a sip of the lukewarm tea. but I'm not sure how much longer I can take all his teasing. That said, I still want to know more about him. Unwilling to give up, I snuck another look at him. Say, Yosuka? You don't want to go back to the surface, right? That's what you said before, at least. Seems like you found your role down here in Yomi. Masahana was expressing her appreciation for you in regards to that agreement you set up. So, why did you get involved? You've never once thought about going back to the surface? That story has an earlier beginning. After the plague that struck the purple, I was to be sent to the orphanage here as I was still too young to live alone. But Tsukuyomi offered to take me in as he was in need of a servant. He's the person I most respect on this island. After all, his very existence has shaped my life. Tsukuyomi is like, I made him special for you. Thanks, Dad. Grandpa, great-grandpa. Tsukuyomi's been around for forever, so. I assume he chose to do so on a whim, but whatever the reason, I was able to gain great knowledge. I was 5 years old when Tsukuyomi took me in. At first, I didn't speak at all. Despite my age, I felt despair in my own way, and I had no will to live whatsoever. Which is why I can understand how you felt when you kept to yourself at Lord Doma's manor. And that's kind of sad, because he's like, I felt my despair. Well, yeah, because you're 5, your whole family's dead. Everyone that you've ever known, your whole entire basic tribe in a way, like you whatever, is dead. And everyone's like, it's your fault! Ah! And they banished you to, like, hell for it. You're like, what the fuck? Like, you were already in a traumatic situation losing your family. And then you just lost your whole entire community on top of it. And then everybody else on this fucking island is like, it's just snowball of shit. Like, it's a shit ball. It's a giant shit ball they keep rolling this poor boy up into. So, yeah, I can understand that. And at 5? Yeah. The cup in my hand shook. I didn't want him to get inside my mind any deeper, but I couldn't deny the truth in his words. Severe pain can desensitize you to the point where you no longer know what pain is. I couldn't cry, and the things I saw and heard seemed so distant that I had no thoughts about them. He spent his childhood just like I did. I was gripped by the desire to embrace him now. To embrace the young child that stood looking into the waters of Shinamizu Spring. Sometimes I'd notice tears falling, but by then I had a difficult time knowing whether I was sad or not. In my first year with him, all I could do was nod or shake my head. You know how unique Tsukuyomi is. After all, he is an outsider who chose to live in the depths beneath Yomi. I remembered the story I read in a book, about a monster who abducted children for its meals. Yosuga been through so much, he's like, I'm gonna get eaten now. Each time he approached me, I shook in fear, thinking, today's the day he's going to eat me. But on some level, I wanted him to eat me. There was, like, some weird metaphor. I mean, I wouldn't know anything. I mean, if Tsukuyomi was gonna, like, suck your soul out or, like, vampire you, yeah, okay. I wouldn't say no either. Once that happened, I'd be able to join the others. I wouldn't have to be alone anymore. Thinking of it now, it's rather rude to Tsukuyomi. He was taken in by someone he didn't know after suddenly losing his family and homeland. The story he told me was my own. I suppose it'd be scary to meet Tsukuyomi as a child. But you're right, he is very unique. You think so too. Yosuga poured more tea into my empty cup before continuing his story. After some time passed, I met Kuroba. By then I was able to speak to other people, and it didn't take long to befriend him as I'd always longed for a brother. I'd have loved to see what you both were like back then. I'm sure you two were very cute. Kuroba was as lively back then as he is now. And though as part of the Black, he'd have felt his share of pain. The Black are known as the Darkness class. They're classified lower than the Versi. Black equals night, so everyone shuns the color out of superstition. Unless you want to put it on to match, because it matches everything. Which is likely why we became friends rather quickly. We were both far from the sun. He wasn't trying to blame me, but hearing this from him was painful. And there's a small eatery behind Moondial Plaza. A woman by the name of Hagino used to run the place by herself. Oh, I almost clicked it. Moondial Plaza, an open area where Yomi residents often gather. A bell in the central tower tolls to announce nightfall, and the clock on its face indicates the time. Kuroba was raised in the orphanage, and after what happened to the purple, we both saw her as a mother or sister of sorts. You see how Asawa looks up to you? It was similar to that. At one point, the eatery began to close for long periods, and her stomach began to grow larger. And this particular woman didn't have a husband. I knew what this was leading to. At first, it was like it used to close down, her stomach grew larger, and I was like, wait, oh, pregnant. And I was like, oh my god, is she sick? He's like, the eatery began to close down now and then. Okay. Oh my god, is she getting sick? I forgot what story we were on. I forgot where he started the story. Like, let me tell you about why I don't like those fuckers coming down here and just force raping women. You know what I mean? I totally forgot that. I was like, is she sick? She's gonna die. Pregnant. Oh, right. Came full circle. She was a single woman with child. And the reason was...
Why must you be so stubborn? You're healthy, so just give him whatever children he wants.
Still, Kuroba and I believed in her. We wanted to believe. Our favorite sister must have found a good man she loved. We were sure that her kind husband would appear one day to help run the eatery. When she started to keep her windows and doors closed, it was then that Kuroba suggested we go in to make sure she was fine. We broke the window and went inside to discover our dear sister's corpse decomposing from Haku. What? Our fears became reality. We learned her sister was raped by one of the men from above who wanted her to bear his child. It must have caused her great suffering, and she decided to end her life without telling us. Our lonely days came to an end with no other company besides Haku. And this was the way of the world. Kuroba and I were forced to confront the bitter truth. I instinctively looked away. I do like the fact that they're like, okay, Yosuga and Kuroba are kind of like childhood friends, and then it's like, you do Yosuga's route, and then you do Kuroba's route after. They kind of like lead into each other. It was easy to imagine what they went through. How children as carefree as Asawa could suddenly be overwhelmed by despair. Did he tell you about my older sister? I discovered her corpse after Haku struck the Purple District. Which was what made me realize being exposed to unmitigated violence must have been painful beyond compare. I couldn't allow this to be. I quickly looked back at him. And there was no real order in Yomi back then. Of course, some vied for power, as they will, and they'd drag someone down to rise to power, only to be dragged down by another. Participating in such pursuits to secure a living seemed far too much effort for me, I'd imagine. I couldn't look at his bright smile as he told me his story. I knew it. Yosuga's looking toward the future. Here I am, wanting to bring change, but unlike him, I still don't know what to do. We're not so different in age, and we both learned from Tsukuyomi, too. The more I dwelled on it, the more frustrated I was with my immaturity. I felt so pathetic and helpless that I wanted to run away. But here's the thing, too. So it's like, she's like, oh, man, he's going out and doing shit, and I just don't know what to do, and I'm immature, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, it's not really your fault. Because you also live on an island that's like, your job is to pop out babies. You can't go to school. You're a baby factory. So, like, oh, sure, women have rights, but not really. Like, it's this weird, like, they've put you in this, like, sexist bubble, but you just think it's normal. Oh, well, like, blah, 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 wait, you don't get to go to school. Uh-huh. And your job is to have babies. Uh-huh. And, like, if you were in Yomi, a man can take what he wants and everyone's cool with that. Uh-huh. But you're upset because you can't bring about change? I know, I can't do anything. I'm so useless. What the fuck? That's because they've basically set you up to, like, just be a baby factory. Like, to not have enough power to do anything. Like, Shura's the one that's like, fuck this shit. I'm building a school, and I'm gonna lead this fucking group. Bite me. But everyone else is like, oh my god, the women are gonna rise to power. Oh, like, they're more worried about the color class, but you gotta be worried about these women being pissed off, like, why the fuck am I like a 1.5? Like, what? We're not equal. This is bullshit. Like, but she's got enough sense in her head to be like, wow, I mean, he's out there affecting change, and I just feel like so immature that I haven't done anything. Because if you tried, they'd laugh at you and just pat you on the head and tell you to go make more babies. Like, it's cute that you think you have an option. I mean, she does, but you know what I mean? Like, this whole society in this island is like, you really do. We want you to think you do, but you don't. We're gonna lull you with this false sense of you're equal, but you ain't. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, so you really can't be mad at yourself for being like, man, he's affected change, and like, look what he's done, and in 2 years I won't be where he is. Yeah, well, exactly, but you also don't have a penis, so they won't let you get away with this shit. Like, even though at the same time, when she says things, Jigen and Doma are basically like, yep, no, yeah, you're not an idiot. We agree with you. Like, but there's so many other people, like Kanan and everything, that are like, excuse me, mouth shut, have babies, leave it to the men. Like, bitch, what? I will take you down. Like, it's this weird thing. There's this weird dynamic where she just thinks that she's equal to everybody. And should be able to make all these changes and do things that, like, Yosuga's doing. But in reality, if she tried, it wouldn't just be, oh, I gotta go up against people and there's gotta be a vote and there's democracy and whatever. It's the, you also wouldn't get very far because you happen to be a woman. Doma saying it, people might actually listen. Jigen saying it, okay, Shura, she's actually the only woman that's got a leg up, but everyone else is like, ha 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 ha, get back in the kitchen now, sweetie. Like, seriously? Except for it's not as clear cut as that. It's not like the 1950s, oh, my wife makes the best martinis when I come home from work. Like, where it was like blatantly obvious, you were like, oh, this is some sexist bullshit. This is so, they try to bury it. Like, oh no, everyone's in the women can go around and pick their husband, but you really can't. You really fucking can't. Look at what's her fucking face. Sasara? Is that her name? Right? Who was like in love with Kanan and punched her husband, and now she's down here. Because she was property. If she was like trying to jump all up at him and he punched her, it'd be like, excuse me, girl, you do what your husband says. She punched him, she in jail. I'm just saying. Like, they want you to think that you can affect change, but you really can't. Just sad. Like, it's more frustrating. Because, like, so you, like, I feel bad for her because she's, like, mad at herself. And it's like, you should be mad at the world you live in. This place sucks. The men are beautiful, but this place sucks. Let's pick our favorites, put them on a boat, and get the fuck out of here and go to the man harem, bitches. Listen, I'm coming in my dirigible. We're getting steampunked out of this fucker. That's very steampunky, and that's just the vibe I'm going for now. Because, like, I could be like, hop on the pirate ship, but then we hit the whirlpool, so I'm going to get my flying ship. That'll be fine. I don't want a plane. That's not cool enough. Anyway. I see now. Oh, you seem rather unhappy. I'm not upset you, have I? If so, I apologize. It's not that. It's just, I think you're amazing. Really amazing. Suddenly, you're just beginning. Yasuga's hand touched my hair for only a moment. As I said before, I was completely useless when I first came to Yomi. You've just turned back from a doll into a human again, so there's no need to rush. I suppose so. This feels so strange. I can still feel his hand touching my hair. Although they keep saying I'm a doll. Maybe I am like Chameleon. Maybe I really am a doll. Maybe I'm clockwork and I don't know it. Oh my god. I'm sure you'll find many things you'll want to do from now on. It was an instant that you began... Oh, it was, sorry. It was in an instant that you began your delivery service, so I doubt you'll stop there. You're also destined to become leader of the White once you bear children. What? Look at you. It seems the thought never occurred to you at all. I'm sorry. Me? Leader of the White? I mean, okay, so that's an interesting point. She's gonna be, like, Shura forced her way into being leader and everyone was okay. We're auto leader, and it's always going to be a woman because I'm pretty sure they made it clear, or they insinuated. Now, maybe things changed because we're here and not on Tenyo Island anymore, and like, weird disturbance in the force. I don't know. But like, the women, there are no men of the white. So the women only have female offspring. So there's only ever going to be, the leader of the white is only ever going to be a woman because there's only ever women in the white. So
You should be old enough to be one by then. If you don't wish to become a leader, I'm sure Lord Domo will keep them in order.
absolutely not.
You don't get along with him.
Well, I was ashamed of responding so quickly and childishly. I'm sorry I'm like this. It's just that I don't think I can ever get along with him.
In that case, you must do your very best.
His gentle smile was actually making me tense. Leader. Me. Leader of the white.
Tsukiyomi told me often over the years, and that he'd give me a place to sleep, food to eat, and knowledge for my mind. But he'd not give me my role, that I should be the one to find it.
Role.
Did he not say the same to you?
I tried to recall my days on Tenyo Island. I don't think he's told me that before. Then again, maybe I've forgotten. Well, he doesn't have to give me my role. It was auto-assigned to me. I'm a woman, have babies. Now I'm the last white, have babies to preserve the white. I mean, basically, this is my role, and this is depressing.
The memories of your island are distant.
Distant, but still close. I can remember some things clearly, whereas other memories just come to mind suddenly. Listen carefully and promise me. Promise that you'll find your true love and live as happily as your mother has. I just know the other half of your soul is out there, somewhere in this world. But it's like, this is the saddest thing, because it's like, you're as happily as I am, because my husband only stops over, does his business and leaves. Like, he comes, he fucks, he comes, he leaves. Like, it's basically like, and then I have a baby, and then that's it, and I'm totally happy. I don't know, I mean, I guess because they're like, self-sufficient, we don't need men, which is awesome, but like, if you were totally in love, like, I love my husband. You purposely, husbands for them is literally just who fucks you. Like, I mean, there's no actual legal, I mean, they say there's a wedding, but like, at the same time, the women of the white, they didn't have weddings, you know? It's basically like, husband is the person who's going to impregnate you, and then like, whatever. And sure, the ceremony is just there for no reason, apparently. Like, it's just the way it kind of seems. Like, they keep talking about a wedding, and yet, you know, the husband thing just seems to be like, you're my mate. There you go. You're my husband now. Okay. Anyway. Unbelievable. And just as I said it, too. But I can't choose you to be my husband, Yosuga. As depressing as the thought was, I didn't feel as saddened as before. In fact, I felt a renewed strength growing inside me now. I'm really happy about what you said, Yosuga. It never dawned on me before that I could become leader of the white. The vivid image of Tenyo Island's scenery came to mind. My first decree we will go back to the island! After what happened, I vowed to myself that I'd find happiness for the sake of everyone who passed away. But the truth is, the Red Calamity has been holding me back all this time. I felt lonely whenever someone reminded me that I was the last remaining white. But I can't resign myself to a life of being the last remaining white forever. I need to bring people back into my bloodline. You're the one and only precious white. It is your duty to bring a baby into this world. See, it's not shit. Stop saying that. It's true, but it's also, I hate it. Like, I wasn't born to fulfill that role for others. I'd find my husband and have children because that was the life I wanted to live. See, okay, I appreciate that, though. I'll never let anyone tell me otherwise.
If that's what you desire, I'm certain it'll come true. I'll support you, too.
Thank you. My reply was quiet. If I could have what I desired, my husband would be...
I know. Would you like some Kampeito?
I really, really wanted some. I wondered if he would think I was terribly childish to ask him for more. I should watch my weight. No, I would like some. Good. Oh, hold on. Ooh, this is where our first save file. So our first wrong answer is like, I should watch my weight. And he's like, girl, stop it. Oops. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do, but we saved at 28 anyway. I wanted to go back. Okay. I like to write down, even though it's out of things, so I'll know. But, yes, I would like some. Yes, I would like some. He smiled and reached into the canister that shone brightly in blue, purple, and silver. It's mother of pearl, isn't it? It's so shiny and pretty. This? It was once used to hold tobacco. Perfect for hiding my special treasures, no? Absolutely. Do you know what a moonlight shell is? Moonlight shell, a seashell that can be found on Tengu Island. It is said the shells in the ocean can glow in the moonlight on certain nights. The shell is often used as a material in mother-of-pearl inlays. No? It's a seashell. It's a shell. I can't, what the hell happened there? It's a seashell from the north side of the island. Shaving the surface reveals this shining layer. Moonlight shell. It's a beautiful name. Come to think of it, I heard a mysterious legend from Tsukuyomi. As the name suggests, the shell glows on moonlit nights, but only those who are very lucky can witness it. Lucky. Which is why I'll never be able to see it. I live here in Yomi and have used up all my luck. I couldn't help but picture it. I could see the moonlight illuminating the ocean and the seashells. Oh my god, we're going to take him back up to the surface. He's going to be allowed, well, obviously we're going to be allowed to marry him, but he's going to come up to the surface and we're going to see the shells glowing and oh, look, the shells are glowing now. You got to see it. Huh, the best luck I had was finding you. Okay, look, I just wrote the rest of the game. You're welcome. And next to me was... Okay, they keep going to these 2 CGs we've gotten, but I'm going to need more game. What the fuck? Give me more. We're halfway through his route. Not really, we're in the 4th or 5th chapter, I don't know, but still. You seem to possess a rare type of luck. You'll be able to ward off evil and bring forth happiness. Yeah, I'm going to ward off your evil and bring you happiness. Because you bring me happiness just by existing, you beautiful bastard. But I'm lucky, right? Huh? Huh? It's nothing. Just forget what I said. I forgot. You do possess a rare luck. I'm certain you'll see it. He gently traced the canister on his waist. He touched it gently and a bit awkwardly. I shouldn't have said that. Do you like seashells? Seashells? Yes, I do. I like to walk along the shoreline in the morning and look for things that may have drifted in. I keep any shells I find with the rest of my treasures. What a delightfully cute pastime that is. Did I hear that right? He sounded a bit irritated. Maybe he thinks it's childish. He's just a little jealous. Now then, I should get back outside. It seems you're about done too. Oh, yes, I'm sorry to take so much of your time. Thank you very much. If you'll please excuse me. Why, it's Lady Olympia! Oh my, so you've come to enjoy the baths here too, Lady Olympia. It's a woman? I don't know. Okay, it's a woman. They were ladies. If I do lady voice, it's a dude. You know what, I can't just... anyway. 2 women approached me. I didn't know who they were, but I could tell by their color ribbons that they were from the red and the orange. Isn't it about time you perform on stage again? I have attended all your rituals to bask in your divine aura. I feel like my heart is cleansed and made pure each time I see you dance. Thank you very much. I was embarrassed, but without the pain from previous interactions with strangers. It was hard to imagine that not long ago, I wouldn't have been able to manage as much as a smile when approached by someone. Thank you very much. I believe the bell tolled this evening, but I'll be on stage again tonight. Why, how wonderful! I cannot wait! And by the way, have you begun your search for a husband? Might you be considering our Lord Akaza? Of all times? No, I have not considered him. Look, and then Yusuke's face is good. Oh my, I thought he was your candidate for sure.
Then perhaps...
Oh, then perhaps our pride, Lord Kanan. No, not him either. I know. It must be Lord Nagusa of the Jade. Who?
No, you two. She is a very careful woman. I do not believe she'll reveal her heart so easily.
Yeah, I can't be like, no, I love this bastard, but, you know, since we can, then I haven't gotten over it yet. It'll be, yeah. It's been 2 weeks! Simmer down! I really feel like a giraffe at the zoo. This is Giraffe Baby Watch. Like, oh, everybody watch. There's a giraffe on a camera. It might give birth in, like, months, but we're gonna watch it every single day, every second. Oh my god, what's happening? This is literally what it is. Oh my god, we're April the giraffe. His gentle smile stirred my heart. My, how unfortunate!
By the way, your baths should be ready now, so please do enjoy them before they go cold.
That sounds splendid. Oh, we shall be looking forward to your wedding, Lady Olympia.
Thank you.
You have a performance tonight.
Huh? Oh, yes. I was told to dance tonight because of what happened to the sun last time.
Well, I envy those two. I would love to see you there.
Yusuga, are you sure you can't come to the surface anymore? I knew the answer, but I had to ask. Oh, Camellia, dropping the bomb! You have a permit to go through Kunado, right? He's allowed to go to the surface, he just chooses not to. He might not be able to live up there, but he can go, and he's just like, fuck that. Camellia suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Oh! That's like the biggest bomb they're gonna drop in this route. I say that, and I'm gonna get slapped in the face with something else. But I didn't see that one happening. You do have one, right, Lord Yusuga? You do? Really?
Well, you see, the purplers killed Herbalus. I'm called upon at times to fulfill special orders and deliver them to the surface.
Why didn't he tell me such an important thing like that?
But I don't care for going to the surface. I often have one of my staff conduct the delivery.
But as I do not care for going to the surface.
I do not care for going to the surface. I often have one of my staff conduct the deliveries.
Look at him. Look at his sexy goddamn fucking sexy bastard with his pipe that he never smokes, but it's just there. But you just said you wanted to see her dance, right?
Well,
You did say that, right? I heard you. I fucking love Camellia. High five, girl. Yusuga, I know I can't force you, and you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you have some time and if you're interested, can you please come and see me dance? It's actually cute. She's like, oh, okay, cool. She's like, it would mean a lot if you came. Yusuga went quiet when suddenly... Sir, a messenger is waiting for you outside.
From whom?
Well, I've never seen him before. He'll not give me his name. He said he wished to speak with you directly. He does not seem to be carrying weapons. Yusuga quickly glanced at me.
Understood. I'll be there shortly. Please escort him to the waiting room.
As you wish. As he left, Yusuga turned to me.
You know what I do here now, and that it'd be difficult to make any promises in the event that we have troublesome guests, but I will go, if I can.
You better show up. Okay, I thought he was gonna be like, I mean, I'm not making any promises, like, because we might have troublesome guests, so like, I don't know, we'll see. And that would be like him saying no, but he's like, I'll go if I can. And it's like, you better fucking go now. His words made me so happy that I could almost do my ritual dance right here and now. This is where you hug him? Yay, I'm so happy! I'm sorry. And then you run away, and then he's like, she hugged me, I need to go. But I couldn't let him see that. At least not yet. See, I'm really good in games like this where I totally got it, but then in real life I'd be like, oh, words. I don't. Yeah, so. Very well. I know you can't promise, but I'll be waiting. I quickly turned around and ran as fast as I could. So cute. Okay, so unfortunately, I really hope he shows up. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. Are you nervous? I'm nervous. Are you nervous? I'm nervous. She's over here. Me, leader of the white, instead of being like, Yusuga might be there watching me dance. That's what oh my god. But we have to stop now because it's about time. We went a little over on the last part. So yeah. So we'll find out next time if Yosuga shows up. If he doesn't, it'll hurt me. I'll understand, because, like, I feel like he'd be the type of person to be like, yeah, I want to go and I want to see you, and now it brought up that I have no excuse not to go, but... And then he'd be like, yeah, I'll go if I can, and then at the last second he'd be like, I can't leave Yomi, I don't like going to the surface. You know what I mean? Even though he really wants to go. It's like me, I really want to go, but I don't like leaving my house, but worse. You know? Because also then he's going to go and the people are going to be looking at him. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's a lot of weight to put on him. But then she's going to be so happy being like, he's going to come. And then he doesn't show up. And then she's like, you weren't there. And then he's like, it was really hard. I wanted to go. But it was like, and then it's like, you're going to understand, but it's still going to be disappointing. I understand, but it still breaks my heart. Like, or he's going to show up and we're going to have a beautiful CG. I don't know. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.